just about to forget that.
I know, we haven't played it all year. All winter.
So how are the some of the other regulars doing?
I was, Melissa and Tom, I think they out biking probably. Every time it's a nice day, they're out.
Okay.
I'll call them and find out what happened to them. They haven't been here yet.
They stay pretty well
They stay
busy.
pretty busy. Ray's been coming, Ray Chatfield. Lee and Ron are on their way back from Alaska.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, they are coming back?
They're coming back, yeah, they're on their way. They said they were, I think their email said they were leaving today from Alaska, yes. They have to go by Nebraska and plant their potatoes and then they come in here. So they'll be back.
Yeah, Dewey don't play, they don't put that third party in there.
No, that's, see,
Most people don't.
right, but I like,
That's the way I learned it.
And it's actually the second part is the odd one, right?
yeah.
And the question comes as far as where it came from. And there was a recording from like the 1920 around 1928. I forget who it was, fiddle player doing it. He was only doing two parts, but he was doing that first part and the second part. He wasn't doing the third part, which is most commonly the second part.
But I like it. It blends, all three of them go well together, and it makes the tune kind of different.
Now, the way I learned that, I played it in key of E. Cross tuning for key of E. That's the way Dad played it. And he got the high part different, altogether different.
Okay.
We'd always play in A.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
I never played D when I started
I played it in A too, but Dad, he would tune it up. He'd cross tune and he'd get that chord just like that, which would be up here. He'd tune the first string for E. I've forgotten exactly how he tuned
Do
it.
you remember who it was where you learned it from? Or what fielder?
There was a book that we were using, a fiddle book,
People in Richmond did it.
and everybody did it that way.
In
In Richmond.
I like that way of doing it better than any. I've heard so many slightly different variations of Cumberland Gap that I never did figure it out, but that was the one I liked best.
Now, Tommy Gerald's, he even named it different. He named it Tumbling Gap.
Cumberland Gap.
It's supposed to be Tumbling Gap,
Right.
but he always called it Tumbling Gap.
Yeah. You got all these tunes with different names and then same tunes.
Now, I never heard it played like y'all played it till I heard y'all.
Yeah, this is probably a more modern version. Something a lot of these. It's just like, I mean, I learned a three-part version of how we put kettle on, which.
You do that one.
Not three parts.
Yeah, there's one, I think that was the one.
But I think I got that version from the Freight Hoppers, so it, it's more modern. Yeah, I don't have a long history in this music. I discovered it pretty late.
I learned a lot of stuff from my dad. He played with John Rector a whole lot. You remember him, don't you?
Who?
John Rector.
No.
He was a fiddle player, and he was real good, old-time fiddler. And so Dad played banjo with him. And then my dad played a lot with Arthur Melton. He was a fiddle player.
When you play a waltz, when you play a waltz, you know that? Y'all play Bonaparte Crossing Rhine? about as waltz as I get.
That's not false.
That's about as waltz as I get.
Is that 3/4? I mean, is that like 6/8 time? I don't know it. What's the timing on it? I don't pay much attention. No, it's not. No, it's just straight.
We often start out with that when our fingers are not warmed up. Yeah.
It comes so natural, so easy.
Some of them play easy on the banjo, some of them don't. I mean, somebody, if they play easy on the banjo, they'll play easy on the fiddle.
That's true.
Yeah, like
Liberty,
Liberty. I
it's
hate
easy
Liberty
on the
fiddle.
banjo, but on the fiddle, it's
I
like,
just
oh
don't
my
like
God,
the
I
way it
hate it.
Dewey hates Liberty.
It's
Good.
awful.
It just does not feel comfortable in the fiddle.
Oh, but one time we were stuck playing for those dancers somewhere. Me and Stu played that up there at the Parkway for the school kids for probably 30 minutes.
Oh,
and by
Lord.
the time we had finished playing it, I got that turn. Now I could do it! But there's a funny bow turn in it. And I figured out, I can't put it in words. Anyway, if I just drug the bow, instead of trying to do something else with it, I would come back going in the right direction. And I figured that out after about 30 minutes.
Yes, I would get cramps in my left hand.
Yeah.
But it's one of those tunes that you probably should play more because it's teaching you something. It's an exercise. You only play the ones that are easy.
Well, right, yeah.
Since we've been playing up at Wildwood Farms, they don't like playing E.
They play an E.
They play an E
In
a lot.
E?
Yes,
Sing-
they play a
Singing
lot.
songs.
Country
They're doing
songs.
singing
Right.
songs, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never played on the fiddle in E.
And
It's not pretty.
so she hands me the fiddle when
Ah,
me and I've been
See,
practicing.
he has a good time doing that. He likes to do that. Now, what was that? Oh, is it Midnight on the Water?
he doesn't like waltzes, remember?
Be a good time to go to the bathroom.
He's gonna do waltz.
I don't know what it is, but it's not that fast. It's not that slow.
That'll be
It's a waltz though.
It's a waltz, it's a waltz.
Okay, but,
They'll play.
all right. I like it. I think it's pretty. It would be pretty with 3
Take a
minutes.
little bit off.
fastest I ever played that tune.
Oh,
Most people play it a lot slower. You dropped your phone.
your phone.
Oh,
Not your phone, your phone.
I thought you said phone.
Oh, I'm sorry, phone.
That's his iPhone.
I get talking on my, I get a call, and I hear it through my hearing aids.
Right.
And when it answers, it'll automatically answer. And I just leave my phone in my pocket,
Right.
and I just start talking. And people look at me like I'm crazy.
I would want mine to automatically hang up.
Oh, this will do that too.
Okay.
Well, once they hang up until the end, it'll stay on for just maybe 2 seconds, and then you hear it go off.
That's one. I mean, it used to be, when I'd get telemarketing calls, you know, I would talk and I would end the call politely. I just got to the point, no, I just hang up, move on. Especially, I mean, obviously if it's a robotic call, but
Oh, I can hang up on them, just mash this button right
Right.
here.
but it's,
It's kind
You don't know how much time I got, what kind of mood I'm in,
right, yeah,
what I do.
right.
you know.
Sometimes I like to mess with them.
And
And when they interrupted you, what you were doing, when they
That's what-
interrupted
yeah.
you.
Before they got these robocalls, you know, there'd be a live person on the other end.
Well, usually there'll be a live person if you stay on the phone long enough.
Well, the other side is that it used to cost them money, but now all these unlimited plans and whatever, but yeah, I'm sure for, you know, now I don't know what the situation is, but, and it's like with, it used to cost them money to do mailings, but now with email, they can just send all this garbage out.
Right.
I wonder how they got this, where they get local numbers.
Oh, where they spoof you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
they're calling from local numbers.
No, they don't call from local numbers.
But they,
Right.
it
But
makes
it
it
shows-
look like
that's what
it's-
shows
yeah,
up.
right,
Yeah.
Local
Right.
numbers show up.
You get a lot of calls from South America.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is Bubba. How are you today,
Yeah.
bro? Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I just mess with them, and sometimes just cuss them out. And
Yeah, I don't bother doing, I just hang up.
sometimes I try to keep them still on, I keep them on the line.
Right, because that costs them money, because
Yeah.
they're
If I
depending
keep
on
on the
calling.
Yes.
I think it's the first time I got one of these. It was a robo thing, but you know, the phone rang, and we got an old-fashioned phone at home. There's no number, display, anything. I mean, it's one of these old, big, red, and I bought it recently, but it's just got a mechanical ringer on it. I mean, it's just, I love it.
I love it too.
The rotary dial.
No, it's push
No, they
button,
won't let you do rotary anymore.
Oh.
I wish it had, I love those.
but
No, it's got push buttons, but
but I
still,
pick up the phone.
everything else is,
and this automated voice says, "Please hold for the next representative."
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'm irritated enough when I call you and you do that. You're going to call me and tell me to do that?
I've got calls like that too.
You know, I had a headlamp. I use a headlamp working a lot. And it wasn't working. And a friend said, he said, them things are guaranteed for life. I said, really? So I can have a box or nothing. And I said, okay, we'll try this. So I went on the internet and got the number and called, bring, hello, how can I help you? 2 rings, a live person.
Ooh.
whoa.
And I said, I got 2 rings and I got a live person. I got a woman on there. She said, how can I help you? I said, I'd like tech support. She said, okay, hold on. Bring. Hello, this is John, how can I help you? 2 rings. I mean, I got 2 live people in a matter of 20 seconds. I mean, that just don't happen.
No.
And I said, listen, I got a headlamp and it ain't working right. And he said, well, send it to us, we'll fix it. And so I sent it to him. You know, in a couple of weeks, I got the thing, a brand new one back.
Oh, man.
And I mean, you just don't get service like that anymore.
Yeah. They must be about ready to go out of business.
Well, I was thinking,
Get live people and,
I'll tell you how you can, you get one of these robocalls. I got one from Bassett the other day, but it didn't say Bassett. It just gave me the number. So I just dialed in Google on the computer, typed in the number that
Right.
it gave me on the telephone, and it said the call come from Bassett, Virginia.
yeah. Well, what, I get them, and but if you call them back, the numbers will be discontinued and said, discontinued for possible fraud or
Right,
anything. So,
Yeah, you can go on, sometimes you put in, I'll put a number in and search it, and it'll list, you know, who's behind or what kind of things, scams they're trying to do and all these things. There are databases that people, you know, if you get you can, you know, write into that place as far as what it is.
there's too much stuff going on. I don't trust anything over the
No,
internet.
I've got it. It's,
getting cynical, I am too.
I'm getting worried. I mean, there could be a major war over the, you know, a major hacking war.
no, that's the next.
It's already going on.
Mhm.
Yeah, it could get really bad.
Yeah, I think good.
It could stop all the
Scam
cars.
and get ransom money. They'll lock up your computers
Yeah,
and charge you a ransom to turn it back on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Things has just got too much. That new car, a couple of times, we haven't been able to get the trunk closed because if we both pushed the button at the same time, it crashed their electronic system. And we had to wait till its brain figured that out.
Oh, I found out my dad's old Accord that, you know, you had your purse in the trunk or whatever, or something, but there was a key in one of those electronic keys and it wouldn't lock. I'd go to take off and the light blinking, you know, beep, 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 and the trunk's open. I go back, shut the trunk. It would not let you shut the trunk.
Right.
That key was back in the vehicle.
That's what happened Sunday. I was getting worried, but it finally reset itself. But we have to.
No, it did reset itself. It finally clicked off, and I just took my hand and pushed it down.
All right, we finally got it to do it. But we're starting to tell each other, all right, are you going to open it or am I going to open it? We're not going to both use our little things at the same time. It gets.
But this new vehicle, we got this feature that if you hold, if the car is locked with the windows up, if you press and hold the unlock button or one of the buttons and hold it, all the windows will roll down. So I guess if you're at work or whatever and it's a hot day and before you leave work you want to open your windows, but you know, I've had it happen just from sitting. It gets bumped.
Oh yeah, Melvin does that too.
In fact, the first time it happened, we were at the
Murray River
Murray
Fiddlers
River
Convention.
Fiddlers Convention in Buena Vista, Virginia, and we were up by the stage and got outside. I
I
don't
went
know.
back to the car for something.
I
don't
needed to go
remember
back and
what it
get the bass, or I had to get the guitar because you wanted to do the folk song or something. So I went back to the car and got the guitar out, then closed up the car, locked it, and sat down. I decided to go ahead and tune it there. And when I came back, and all the windows were down, I had fiddle and whatever in the car, and a storm was coming. If I hadn't come back,
Right.
Someone could have easily stolen the
at
instruments.
home I've gone out in the morning and all the windows, and it's happened on my mom's car too. All the windows are down and the sunroof is open.
But we tested our Buick, and that thing will open from 300 feet away.
Well, I just wonder if somebody else going by could make it open too.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just.
That's iffy.
But why? As far as I know, you can't disable it.
These have got the got the
They're-
program on the key itself.
Yes, they're
Right.
embedded in there so that
Right.
you don't hit them quite as easily.
Okay.
But he'd sit on that Buick W in a restaurant or something and be on vacation. That was very distressing.
Horn start blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah, I've
that.
had that.
Yeah. We're falling off. We're running off the cliff with this stuff. We're gonna be in big trouble someday.
I wonder about them driverless cars.
Oh, yeah?
I wonder, you know, if somebody hacked into that,
Yeah.
No, they've proven it can be done. There was a Chrysler or a Jeep or something that they intentionally, to show that it could be
they had
done.
a show on it about it today, or maybe it's yesterday, it's talking about, you know, it's just getting tested now. But eventually they're all gonna go that way. And I'm just thinking, you know, until they get these things where you can't hack into them, and I just imagine, you know, they said, well, you know, you're still gonna have to be, well, they said that they're trying to get to where, you know, the person would pay attention. You know, you have a driver, you know, he's not driving, but he's paying attention.
That ain't-
Well, they
That's not
found out,
gonna happen.
they found out that ain't gonna work.
What,
No,
you
it
know,
can't
Yeah, that-
That's already not working.
that kind of
in
defeats the
airplanes.
purpose of the only reason I'd want a driverless car is
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have to pay
Yeah.
attention.
Right.
Yeah.
If I had to pay attention, you know, give me the wheel. Now, you know, maybe, you know, these other features that if they sense something, so if, you know,
Yeah.
you have to be looking away and some car pulls in front of you, that it stops the car, well, yeah, I can see a benefit in that.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think that's good, but just
But
Yeah, I
to
don't know.
let you totally take your hand off the wheel, and no.
lay back and, well, they said that there's,
And text.
yeah, just lay back and text or sleep or
Yeah.
read or whatever. I just, until they get these computers where you can't hack into them.
Supposedly that last one, the guy was killed. There was an issue with the Jersey wall or whatever, and there was a break in it. And he'd gone by that place, and the car acted weird every time. And he complained about it. Complained about the navigation system. That's going to be argued in court, I'm sure. But because Tesla said he never talked about the automated. He talked about navigation. So terminology. They're trying to get out on terminology. But apparently, the speculation is that because of the way that the lines weren't clear, and it was warning him that so the car couldn't figure out what to do exactly, but it assumed that was a lane and went and just ran it right into the end of the abutment or whatever, just tore that thing up. The battery caught fire.
I could see maybe having a driverless car on some of the main highways and getting everybody going at the same speed at a certain spacing, and that would kind of smooth things out. But as far as, I mean, I think this is a problem for the next generation, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that woman that was killed, the bicyclist, okay, she was jaywalking, she was in the wrong. But most drivers
Right.
would have noticed somebody
Right,
doing
yeah.
something like that, and that's about ready to come out, and they would have reacted.
Yeah.
Well, them sensors should have picked her up.
Well, apparently the sensors are not, it's like, there are certain things they just can't sense, and then they've got, you know, they can't read, you know, you can look at somebody and oftentimes tell they're about ready to do something stupid,
Yeah.
you know, and you
You
can just,
sense it.
but
Always like you sense it.
it ain't, that ain't,
Now, my mirrors will signal me if somebody walks behind my car.
okay.